Hello everybody and welcome to the stream. This is a long awaited thing that I am going to be doing. Originally I was going to be doing this, well, recorded, but I figured it'd be a lot better for me to do it live. That way I can have the VOD ready and everyone can enjoy seeing this edited later down the line. Everything is going to be set as per normal. Of course, I'm going to have interactions with everyone who joins in the call. If you have any questions with anything revolving lore, any serious ones or silly ones, I can answer them. However, this is only going to really cover from slightly beginnings of 1850s all the way to 1943. That is going to be the rule. So a little establishing thing that I'm going to say now. One of the major things that we're going to have to focus on when it comes to today is keeping some form of continuity with everything. So in the past, I did make a video or an entire live stream where I actually explained some of the lore. However, I had to retcon a bit of things because it didn't really fit in as intended. That being said, I do have everything that I have written down from 1943 right here. Everything that we've gotten from the SPD and everything that we have gotten from actual factual statements within the universe itself. So yeah, that's going to be fun. Let me just put some actual not copyrighted music because I don't want the actual VOD to be salvaged. So yeah, let's put some nice music in the background. Actually, let me put some, let me see if I can find some good songs here. Oh, well, there we go. Yeah, there we go. All right. This will do for now. But yeah, we got everything ready. So let's just start off with everything else. Editor, or whoever's watching this, I am going to put a little bit of a thing here for the editors and everyone else as well. I am going to move myself a little slightly this way. That way I can have some room for what I have here, which is the whiteboard. We got the whiteboard here. And not only that, I will also be explaining everything through this handy dandy little drawing tablet here on my side. So everything from what is going to be explained lore-wise will be put on here. Let me just make it a little better for you guys so you can see what I'm going to be cutting into. Let's see. Perfect. There we go. Gonna do that and that and that and that. That way we can have a lot more space instead of just having that one tiny thing. It is going to look a little weird, but we'll make it work. Your mic is doubled? Oh, I know why. There we go. We should be good now. I don't think I'm going to have any more issues because it was my soundboard. Let me see. Soundboard. Oh, wow. No, never mind. It's still going. Weird. Let's see if I can turn that off. That's unfortunate. There we go. Okay. Yeah, no, we should be good now. There we go. It's in the bathroom, guys. Well, fortunately, I got the mic double notification in before everything else. But yeah, there we go. So before we start anything else, I am going to turn off the starting soon screen. There we go. Now that we can actually have a proper setup for everything. I am tempted on putting you guys over here for now. Let's see, where is the chat? There you guys are. You are. I'm going to put you guys down here for now. So yeah. So from the lore, everything has been basically explained somewhat as for, you know, a lot of different things from how Daxes are created, how foxes are created, and how many other different people and or characters that you've seen on stream. This is going to be a glimpse from D000, which is me, the guy who's controlling this model, and has always been controlling every single model. the small bit of lore that you're going to get from those ones is that every single model you have seen as of now have been and will forever be digital reconstructions of known Daxes. This one is a variant of D001, one of the original ones. This is the original outfit that we had. However, this is going to be the story of said D001. From the quotes of the actual lore itself, this is within the actual canon story of what happens. Let's see if I can find it. Let's see. This is why it's also going to end up being cut a lot, because I need to go through the entirety of what is written here. From the very beginning, the dark universe of Mr. Crowley. (2,400 meters deep, 10,000 square feet long. Created in 1942 near the mountains of Seefeld, Austria. Dr. Weber was the original inventor of every single mechanism that happened in there that was involving live testing and living tissue reorganization, and also became a member of Operation Paperclip. Former German scientist in Project Reaper. Uber Lieutenant Ulrich Grabstein, Panzer Commander stationed in the Hellgate bunker, and D001's father figure. That one's going to come in handy later. Obergruppenführer Wolfgang Booker, commander in charge of the Hellgate bunker, and Project Reaper, D001, aka Dax Grabstein. Tombstone Crowley. Project Reaper F001. Subject unknown. From the first chapter, I will read out what we've gotten. Chapter 1, the Hollentor Bunker. February 10th, 1942 to March 10th, 1942. Obergruppenführer Booker assigned to oversee construction of the Hellgate bunker. Obergruppenführer Booker was a very well-known and terrible fucking man that was basically in control of a lot of the privities before even 1943 and 1942 within the bunker. He was also really well known with having a lot of control within the German army at the time. The difference is he is only one of the few people that existed that was a catalyst for what is going to happen within 1943. This universe within itself, the one that you are currently watching in, doesn't have this person existing. A majority of these people are not here at all, or never even existed in this universe. He traveled to Berlin, to the town of Seefeld, Austria. German high command fears of expenses and construction being misused for other purposes within that bunker. The bunker itself started in 1942. Within that time period, we don't know much about it because a lot of records have been expunged from the war ending and a lot of different things happening within that bunker itself that will be explained much more later in the story. Booker was given a highly confidential lockbox containing the remains of the notorious Mad Doctor from the Victorian period.
What's popping, Grizzly?
Explaining lore. Booker was given given a highly confidential lockbox containing the remains of notorious Mad Doctor from the Victorian period, believed to be harboring in occult properties. Those are the remains of D001, previous life, like basically. That's a Mad Doctor. That will be explained here in a bit as well. Said lockbox is to be given to the lead scientist of the Hellgate bunker, as well as showing the needed process to bring the cursed flesh and body of a living weapon. So during this time, it was actually discovered that a small substance of vampiric blood and a lot of different occult existence within that universe was real. However, there was needing a lot of things in order for reconstruction of human body parts, and reconstruction of a lot of undead tissue was needed to be done in order for this to work. So, I'm going to continue here onward. Assigned with Obergruppenführer Booker and Oberlieutenant Albrecht Greifstein, as well as his tank platoon, with 140 men from the Wehrmacht. So that was going to be assigned from the majority of the time, the people who are going to be in charge of the bunker for protection, as well as the personnel that were already at the bunker. During this time period, the bunker was still being constructed, and I'm believing by the end of March 10th, 1942, that's when the bunker was completely finished and construction. The town of Seafield wasn't really well known as to have that. However, the people near that town didn't really know that bunker existed because it was further down into a very deep forest where a lot of things weren't really well known. A lot of movement was being seen around that time. There is also something here as well. Every last man is to have a vow of silence in what will be witnessed, and only to stay within the bunker's area of operations. Anyone leaving the perimeter of the camp outside of the entrance and bunker will be shot and killed. There is no way of getting out of this bunker in any form unless if it's told through anyone who is of higher rank. Anyone who's trying to escape any form of encounters within that bunker will be shot and killed. It doesn't matter who you are. It doesn't matter what your rank is. If you are trying to escape that bunker, unless if it's through the door with the permission of whoever's in charge of that place, that goes for anyone. Unless if it's a high commanding officer, they will die. 40 soldiers are to be assisted with the protection of the personnel and scientists in bunker in rotation shifts. That real quick. Any and all supply runs will be met outside of the camp under the supervision of Obergruppenführer Booker and any of the 5 lieutenants under his command, to ensure no information of the bunker's whereabouts end up in the hands of the Allies. That was one of the major things that was going to happen. So in order for that bunker to stay in any form of secrecy, they had to basically have only a select amount of people in there. Otherwise, they risk a lot of espionage or a lot of dangerous shit happening. The setup of dry wood and was set on fire. The dry wood that will set up the fires at the end of the universe, of that universe in particular. That will come in later. So yeah, that is so far the entire operation of that. Everything that I just said happened between 1942 February 10th and March 10th of 1942. It was a span of January, February, March, between like an entire month. The beginning of the bunker was set up in the beginnings of like 1942. It was still in construction. My bad. I kind of forgot that they were still in the middle of construction. And by March, it was only barely halfway built. Ignore the first time I said that it was barely going to get finished by March 10th. That was a complete fuck up on my end, and I just realized that. There is a construction completion by the certain ends of. I'm pretty sure it ended by 1942 at some point within the fall. So, like I said before, I am going to be putting down different little things here that happen in the background. I'm not going to be drawing on the stream because I have already got a lot of files here that basically explain a lot of what happened in that bunker. Of course, some of the characters that you will see and/or people that you will see in here are all not really drawn yet. I have yet to make them a certain file because still have gotten no access to them yet due to a lot of issues with bureaucracy. Let's see. We got some photos here of the very beginning within timeline. Find it. We're only really going to focus on that guy right there. This Dex right here. This is the one we're going to focus on today. However, I'm not going to show you that one yet. Let's see. There is something in particular that I want to pull up first because this is very, very important. That file around. Oh. My bad if I'm taking a while to see a lot of these different things. I organize a little better, but we should be good. Find it. There it is. There we go. All right, so this is going to explain a lot of things down the line. So I'm going to continue here to March 20th, 1942. Completion of the hull and turbo bunker was finalized. Oh, never mind. I take it back. It was a little earlier. You see, I have a lot of issues when it comes to this because a lot of these files have been a little fixed up once in a while just to make sure that everything was as intended. So yeah, March 20th was when it actually did complete its construction. I believe the beginning of the construction happened in 1941. We don't know exactly. It just happened around that time. There's a lot of speculation on how long it lasted to be made, but a lot of people believe that there was a lot of supernatural shit that kind of happened in order for them to get that much construction work happening within like a year, especially since it was just barely 1941. All right. The construction of the hull and turbo bunker was finalized. Majority of the military personnel are pleased to be away from most of the conflict. Some are homesick, but even they can admit how peaceful it is. In the beginning areas, there were a lot of...
Will you add this extra lore on the server, save the VOD on YouTube?
That is exactly what I'm going to do. In the very beginning of what happens, things are relatively peaceful around that area of the hull and turbo bunker or the Hellgate bunker. Not a lot of issues happen because, again, it's way too far away from any form of conflict. It is setting place in Austria, far away from any form of invasions from the Allies or anywhere near the Soviets getting involved. However, that is going to come in. Keep that in mind. There is going to be a lot of involvement there in the near future. I will explain that in a bit. German High Command sends Booker a message via encrypted radio print. Message reads, and here we go. We just get some water because this is going to be a worthy one. All right. Let's see. Obergruppenführer Booker, as you may know, we have sent you a message to congratulate you to capture your spies near the town of Seafield, and we have made it for them to no longer be in contact with the British or Soviets anymore. As such, we believe on our choice in making sure that the bunker stays secret the bunker secrets will stay and benefit for us all. We trust you will be successful by conducting operations from the hull and turbo bunker, and we will remind you that we can only offer 140 men under your command due to the ongoing campaigns in the East and West. We will send, however, an inspector within a year's time by October 21st of the operations of the bunker, and expect Project Reaper and Project Red Lake to be completed. Now, I'm going to put a little side tangent. Project Reaper was the original name of when they created D001 and F001. Project Red Lake was a side project within the bunker to basically create reanimated bodies of dead soldiers from both the Soviets and the Germans. Basically, any form of wartime combatants at the time mysteriously disappeared after a massive battle, and all of those bodies would basically be dumped and sent to the bunker. However, I will explain a little bit of that a little later. I'm going to continue. March 30th, 1942. The first batch of the bodies are brought in the beginning of Project Red Lake. Booker remains with the lockbox until delivery of a confidential object is to be brought to the bunker from America. Most bodies are both from German and Soviet soldiers. Said bodies will be used for Project Red Lake, as I said before. So that basically explains a lot. There we go. I just explained it. But yeah, that is basically the idea. So we got two different projects that happened during this time period. One was going to be in Project Reaper, which is two highly dangerous experimental living weapons. And Project Red Lake was a mass of living weapons, but they weren't as dangerous considering the fact that they were just going to be completely reanimated without the need of a very important package that is within Project Reaper's entire ordeal. So I'm going to continue now. April 6th, 1942, and June 15th, 1942. Noted from Dr. Weber, production of human reanimation and grafting has a 49% success rate only, with the small glimpse of life returning to the now undead bodies used for the experiments. Booker receives intel that the operatives from America, and here is a note from it. During our travels to the state of Texas, our investigation led us needing to move the operations to Mexico, more specifically the pyramids of Tikal. There is where we will find what we were looking for. That happened within the times of June 8th or so. I don't really know. However, the reason why I say it's June 8th, because next note says here, June 10th, 1942, urgent message to Booker from the North American operatives. They are real. The parasites are real. We contained them as instructed. We shall depart to the jungle to head to Austria within a week's time. So you're wondering what they're talking about. This is the worm. This thing right there is known as the Quetzalcoatl, or the Quetzal worm, or the Quetzal demon worm. I shall explain more about it soon enough. June 20th to 1942, September 3rd to September 3rd, 1942. The operatives returned from North America. 3 of the 15 men team only survived the journey. Head scientist and Dr. Weber examined the parasites. At first it seems that the dormant until shock and blood was applied to the outer body. The way this worm works is simple. The moment it gets in contact with any form of blood or any form of living tissue, it comes back to life. However, you can basically stun it to a certain degree outside of the host body. The problem is, I will explain in a due time. Right now, what is going to be happening with this worm. Keep this worm in mind. It's very important. Okay. The science team and Weber give the parasite the name Quetzal, or the parasite QZL. The QZL is to be contained within a reinforced glass case and frozen for the final steps of Project Reaper. The freezing of it basically is with nitrogen, liquid nitrogen at the time. Meanwhile, Project Red Lake has developed the first true prototype Frankenstein soldiers. Note, proto-Frankenstein soldier units, aka proto-FS units, are implemented with a special battery in their brains and hearts to keep them alive and functional for a battle. They are more than able to handle the hand-to-hand combat. Unfortunately, these proto-FS units are extremely unstable and lack any brain power and function as proper replacements. 75% cannot recognize how to handle firearms, and the other 25 become extremely hostile the moment they even see a rifle or handgun. More research must be done in order to make the perfect soldier to win the war, at least for the German side. Uber Lieutenant Grabstein is stationed now to help and run the installation and activation of Project Reaper's creation chambers. That is one of the final areas that they wanted to reinforce as much as possible. Notes from Dr. Weber, 1942 through August 15th. Subject Reaper's biomass has been successfully transferred from the Hellgate bunker by 0300 as scheduled. Our window of operation has increased due to the change in time. Unfortunately, due to setbacks on funding from High Command, we will have to wait until October 21st in order to begin the full metamorphosis of Subject Reaper's host body. With any luck, the components of components of our contacts in Latin America should have the animal DNA the letter instructed us with. So yeah, not only they brought back the worm, but they also brought animal DNA, which was a black jaguar and a crow's feather from the North American side of the United States. We should be getting a tank division by here momentarily to support in case that we run into any trouble with Subject Reaper. If not, the other experiments we have as well. Personally, this damn bunker scares me, but as man of science, I must persist. Report officially finished. Signed, Dr. Friedrich Weber. That was from the lead scientist of the project of Project Reaper and the Red Lake Project, by the way. I just forgot to mention that. Grafstein confronts Booker over the nature of what is happening in the bunker. Transmission noted from a recording and investigation of Grafstein. So, at this time, we don't really have a full recording of what happened. We only got a transmission note that was written down from the SPD, considering the fact that we don't really have the actual recording software of it completely done yet. However, in the future, there will be a recording between these two at some point. Noted, Booker. Over Lieutenant, do you know why you are having this discussion? Grafstein. Unfortunately, I do, sir. I'm sorry, but I can't help to feel that we are betraying our own humanity for what is happening in this very bunker. Booker. Tell me, Grafstein, your son, is he at home or is he at the front lines? Grafstein. I'm sorry, sir, but my son was killed in action during the invasion of France. Booker, I apologize for not knowing of your loss, but tell me, would it be fair as a man like him to die? Or would it be better for the enemy to fight what was once a comrade in arms? Grafstein. I don't know. This war has been going on for too long. Booker, are you losing faith in the leadership of our country here, Grafstein? Grafstein, of course not. It's not just that I'm afraid of anything happening worse than what's already happening. My wife is all I have. Booker, in that case, stick to doing your job properly, Grafstein. Do not take this opportunity for granted. You're lucky that we only have so many high commanding officers here. Next time we have another one of your outbursts in the operation room, I will have you arrested and sent to be trialed by the Führer himself. Am I making myself clear? Grafstein. Understood, sir. Transmission over. Within that entire interaction, it was inferred that Grafstein himself, the lieutenant, has been extremely jaded from what has been happening within this entire ordeal of the war. When this entire thing started, he not only lost a lot of sentiment towards his ideals of what's going on, mainly because he has witnessed the end of the First World War, but not only that, he also lost a son during the invasion of France. And from what we really don't know about Grafstein is the fact that a lot of records have shown that he really just did not care much about what was going on, and the only reason why he was stationed there was basically through blackmail. So, we'll continue onward. September 1st, 1942. Black Jaguar blood and crow DNA samples have been sent to the Project Reaper's operation room from Berlin. Booker and Weber opened the lockbox, revealing the charred bones of the mad Dr. Crowley. The QZL parasite is prepared for defrosting. October 20th, 1942 through October 21st, 1942. The remains of Dr. Crowley are arranged on the operation table, as well as mangled flesh and the QZL parasite and the piece of vertebrae. The same process is happening outside of the neighboring operation room to Subject Reaper F. 12 midnight, the bare flesh of man, animal, and unholy parasite combined into one being within 2 rooms. Now, there is one thing that was not added within these contexts, like any of these records. There was a separate lockbox that was involved with the lockbox of Dr. Crowley, which was a lockbox of a nurse. Bones and charred remains of a nurse that was with Dr. Crowley at the time. That one was used for F001. Let me just add that as a little bit of a note. F-001 has been kept in a still life state. Estimated revival date September 10th, 1943. German High Command sent Booker and the bunker reinforcements of 60 Waffen SS combatants. That is the end of Chapter 1. And that was the beginning of the resurrection of D-001 and F-001. So yeah, there we go. We got the first chapter done. We still have a few more left. I will, of course, explain those here in a bit, and we're only barely 36 minutes in. Let's go. All right. Do you guys have any questions for me? Go ahead and ask them away. I will be waiting for a good 5 minutes for any form of questions, anything that you guys wanted me to answer. I'm more than willing to give you a rundown of everything. But yeah, while that's happening, I am going to also explain everything about this right here. You can see this is the QZL parasite, the Quetzal parasite. It has D-001 and F-001 possessing the parasites as well. And note right here, keep hosts alive via shocks to nervous system and biomass redistribution. This little thing basically works as a second heart. A lot of Daxes have put in record that this singular entity is what connects everything. Every single universe has one of these. This is one of the few things within the existing universes that connect every single Dax. So far, it's pretty digestible. So far, no questions on my answer. Oh, yay! All right. Anyone else? Got any more questions of anything else that happened? I wish I could have actually made something a little better than just this. Maybe actually making it into a full series, but unfortunately, I lack the resources for that. However, this is the next best thing. I will be making more about these kinds of things later down the line, and hell, we do have something very special planned for everyone here in a bit. All right, I'll just wait a few more minutes to catch up with everything. Still drink some water because I'm going to be talking for a while. Can Daxine produce milk? I can't explain that one yet because Daxine is not in this picture yet. I will have to explain that later because there is something very important when it comes to Daxines and Fox alters that are basically different from them. The thing is, Daxines work as a really weird thing that happens down the line. I can't explain it yet, otherwise I'll be spoiling what happens. However, I'll explain that later. You guys got any more questions? Let's see. You guys are doing that. I'm gonna check my Twitter to see if it goes well. Let's see. Let's see if I've got everything ready for you guys. There we go. Open up another lore thing here. And let me open up this one as well. Done with it all. All right, I think we're good. All right, I will now continue further. Chapter 2, Obsidian and Fire. October 31st, 1942, November 30th, 1942. D-001 has been kept in its containment for the first week and given 2 rations of raw flesh from corpses of the Eastern Front. D-001 seems to be a man in his still 20s, however, no one can understand his true behavior due to being a mute. Alas, most of the interactions within the Hellgate bunker scientists of D-001 consist of cognitive and light experimental test to determine how D001 can be used for warfare. That's right. During the beginning of reconstruction and complete comeback to lifeness or whatever fuck, basically getting back to the groove of things, D001 was kept in a state of just muteness. There was no way of communication between D001 and anyone at that point. No one knew if he could really talk. No one knew if he could really understand certain things. No one really knew, like, if he could even understand most languages at the time. The weapons and development team assigned a test range for D001, setting the funding of the Hellgate bunker to its limits. A majority of the military personnel have issues with this due to the lack of food and other essentials, to lower ranking soldiers thinking the whole ordeal of having the bunker kept a secret completely absurd. Most of the Wehrmacht have been fully informed that the vital information and experimentation happening inside of the bunker's labs. A massive spike of nightmares occur within October 21st from normal soldiers, to even having 20 men of the SS dreamt of blood-red moons, and a man with the eyes of a wild animal. F-001 is still under ice and kept far from the main operating rooms. During that time period of 1942 or so, in October 21st, there was a massive issue with a lot of nightmares happening near that bunker. Not only that, we also had a small record of some local farmers and local lumberjacks also reporting strange dreams to doctors at the time within that town of Seafield. And they all said the same thing of blood red moons with men with really crazy looking animal eyes. December 5th, 1942, and January 28th, 1943. Winter strikes the mountains. German High Command sends last rounds of winter supplies due to the Eastern Front escalating. The camp outside of the bunker has expanded slightly outside of the surrounding forest. Some soldiers had to make makeshift cabins with the lumber from the trees. Uber Lieutenant Grefstein is seen by Dr. Weber heading to the chambers of D001 with a small package and in a canteen of water. Written statement by Dr. Weber. January 26th, 1943. Handlers Obergruppenführer Hoffmann and Obergruppenführer Schneider to the Reichstag. Reichstag. I write to this letter to inform you of the absolute truth and nothing but the truth of the situation we have been going through within the last year of this bunker and laboratories. Recently, we have noticed the lack of winter clothing and other essentials of soldiers outside guarding the bunker within and without the outside of the camp. I don't mean to seem to overstep my lines here, gentlemen, but Project Reaper and Project Red Lake have been very slow to develop any more results than expected. If we do not receive any more new cargo within a month's time, we will have to take measures into our own hands. As you know, we have successfully developed the last living weapon of the creation of our only living super soldier, D001. We have been very adaptive with our instructions. However, recent developments have made it to us having to put him through shock therapy due to the need of wanting to escape from the labs. Her booker has been used to a new electric baton. Her booker has been using a new electric baton on D001 to keep him in line. If we do not hear within a month's time, we will run a live test near the Eastern Front with Project Reaper. Do not think of us as weak or simply wanting help. If the Reichstag will not give us the proper materials and or funding, we will take drastic measures. Signed, Dr. Friedrich Weber. So, from that note alone, we have had a lot of different reports saying that D001 has been under a lot of shock therapy in order for him to stay in line with what the military there wanted within a living weapon. The problem is, during this time, again, you're dealing with a almost mute man who can't really do anything other than just basic cognitive ideas of how to fight. Grabstein offers D001 a warm, long coat to use as a blanket in his cell, along with a hidden note. Here's one of the hidden notes that we've gotten from Grabstein to do D001. Dax, I might not know if you could even understand German, let alone having it written to you. I just hope my message is clear to you. Wrapped in this coat is a piece of bread and a piece of American cheesecake I confiscated from one of the men who brought supplies here last night. You may hate us, I understand. The last thing I want is for another young man to be brought to this horrible world and dragged to death's door. I suggest you burn this note after reading it. Fortunately, D001 of Prime Universe kind of kept that note. February 15th, 1943, March 30th, 1943. D001 has been kept isolated numerous times due to outbursts and breaking an officer's arm, leaving said officer in a sick bay for weeks. German High Command has not returned a single letter back to either Booker or Weber, giving both the idea of pushing the field test earlier. Given that there's a lack of labor. Estimated live battlefield test date July 6th, 1943. Location outside of Kursk, near an undisclosed town near Kursk. My bad. Objective, live field test B001. This is going to be a very strange event to have to write and put down, by the way. I will have to explain this as best as I can, because this is one of the few times in which a lot of recording has been kind of lost, but has been kind of given as a strange example from one of the few people that actually lived to tell what happens in this. So keep this in mind as well. We're going to be coming back for that in a moment's time. All right, let me see real quick. All right. Let's see real quick. Grabstein is heavily monitored after the interaction with one of his men, and Booker went sour. Grabstein believes Booker intentionally started the issue by spilling cold water on the soldier to give Booker a reason to court-martial either Grabstein or to see how Grabstein would react. Who Lieutenant Grabstein is to be put to work exclusively in handling the flesh and distribution to the bunker's Red Lake project. Grabstein is also to be responsible for D001 for the future field test on July 6, 1943, as well as any and all treatments to ensure D001 works as intended within the programs required him to be. March 30th, 1943. Report from emergency operation room, time 0433. Translated record note from the head surgeon. D001 began to scream bloody murder in the morning, to the point of the majority of the staff and soldiers patrolling the labs believing someone may have fallen to the FS unit's pit. Somehow, curiously, this boy grew a pair of ears on top of his head. Not human, but that of a wild black cat. It seems the metamorphosis delayed certain attributes to his body. The ears seem to have sprouted from the skull overnight, as well as a new set of razor-sharp teeth, leaving his mouth a bloody mess as well. Dr. Weber has been informed of these recent developments. In mind, during this time of October 21st all the way to March 30th of 1942 to 1943, Dax's looked completely normal, at least that one. They both basically, well, F001 and D001 at the time basically looked like normal people. But around different times, they basically had a metamorphosis that basically gave them the animal attributes. They are extremely painful to deal with, and later down the line, it is believed that most Daxes can actually retract the animal ears. However, due to certain attributes, they can't really get rid of them completely, and there's a small amount of time that they can actually get away with hiding their animal attributes. That's the one thing that is kind of a detriment. You can't really have a Dax or Daxine or a Fox that can really infiltrate a lot of different things because of those ears. However, they can shrink them and or hide them to a certain degree, but 9 times out of 10 they end up just having them out because it's extremely painful to have them out or have them hidden all the time. April 9th, 1943 to July 5th, 1943. German High Command sends back a large supply of gear, food, and new weapons, as well as a misplaced scythe. This is mainly because the Reichstag believes the bunker will be under attack in a year's time. Curiously, they never sent back a letter to inform to Dr. Weber or Obergruppenführer Booker over any live field test of D001. After much discussion with the scientists and military in the bunker, a majority of them wanted to see the handling of firearms tactics with D001. D001 was sent to the firing range now with a protective glass to see how he could handle 5 firearms in front of him. These firearms consist of the Mauser C96 Red 9, the Karabiner 98 Kurz, the Kar 98K, the machine pistol 40, MP40, the Sturmgewehr 44, the SG 44, and the Maschinengewehr 42, the MG 42. Somehow D001 managed to maintain and assemble and reassemble each and every firearm, even without prior knowledge of said firearm. After he managed to use all of these as intended, except for the last weapon of his choice, reports indicate that he used the Red 9 Mauser's last 2 rounds to shoot at the projectiles at the protective glass of the one-way glass of Obergruppenführer Booker and Dr. Weber, scaring the doctor in the process. We don't know what happened around this time, but keep that in mind. D001 was ready in the eyes of the Hellgate personnel. D001 was fitted with the modified uniform from the Panzer unit, and he will be taken in for a field test. Said uniform is to have a special injector that activates D001 doesn't comply and or attempt any form of escape. That injector is full of poison. It was poisoned directly within the back area, and it would basically cause a melting process, to be exact, within the parasite, killing both the parasite and D001. However, that's not really helpful. Let me explain. The uniform is to be given an insignia of the living weapon to identify him as such. Any use to remove said insignia will result in D001 being shot on sight. That is the uniform that you are seeing right now. This is the original uniform for D001. July 6th, 1943, September 12th, 1943. D001 gets transferred early in the morning of July 6th at 0200 to avoid any and all suspicion. Grafstein is to be assigned as his handler. D001 is to wear a hooded coat and ride in a troop transport truck to the location of the interception outside of the town. Until says Soviet forces established a small force of soldiers stationed in a camp outside the town. Arrival to German camp 1740. D001 is to be stationed as a sniper overlooking the Soviet camp from far away. This rifle has no rounds due to being a cover-up identity, so the Wehrmacht soldiers stay far away from his real identity. Signal to begin the field test will arrive via flare, where Lieutenant Grafstein is to be responsible for shooting the flare. Time of attack 1900. German troops begin movement to surround the surrounding Soviet troops at 1800. D001 is to be closed by the Soviet camp by 1830 to ready his attack. Germans attack in 1845. Gunfire and light tank fire is exchanged. Grafstein shoots the flare at 1900. However, a shrieking noise from a said flare is heard. This activates a guttural and horrific noise from behind the Soviets. A swarm of gunfire from behind rattles into the Soviets, and a loud crash is heard from the woods behind the camp. D001 has been activated to kill at all costs. To the surprise of the German soldiers, the noise made them all hallucinate in the brightness of the moon, turning it a mere redness. Screaming and echoes and cries from the hillside, they were they were on were heard from the Soviets. For each gunshot following gurgling. After the silence, one after another, in each soldier face that was which could only be described as a living nightmare. Time 1940. D001 became unstable with a rage and bloodlust to the point that he attacked 37 of the Wehrmacht himself, and only being incapacitated by Grafstein with a bullet to the head. Time 2000. Even the tank of the Soviets went silent. Not a single Soviet survived. 10 of the 100 men of the team were injured. 27 died from the attacks of B001, but all 100 of the Wehrmacht soldiers, including the Grafstein himself, witnessed a horror that night that they will never forget. After the battle, D001's body was dragged in an unmarked troop transport as the rest of the men were left clearing up the camp and any traces of D001's involvement. Grafstein provided protection to the transport truck back to the Hellgate bunker. Translated an interview with Dr. Weber and Obergruber Wolfgang Booker with Lieutenant Alaric Grafstein. Weber, as you... Okay. I'm gonna have to fucking drink some water real quick. I'm gonna... Oh my god. Ugh. And here's the interaction between them. Anytime I say the name of in the very beginning, that's basically who's talking. Of course, I forgot to mention that earlier. Weber. As expected, this field test was a mistake to begin with. Grafstein, you absolute madman. Are you insane? Booker. Watch your tone in the room, Alaric. We are professionals here. Grafstein. Professionals? Have you both lost your fucking minds? We lost a man that night. Not from some Soviets, but from this abomination you brought upon this world. This boy is nothing but danger to us all. And you still insist on keeping his body here? Weber. We need more research to be done to the body. It somehow hasn't decomposed, and plus your report has this entire night works wonders to what we can do with Project Red Lake. Grafstein, my report is nothing but a warning. You two are playing God, and it's beyond madness for you to think that we are willing to do what is achieving a living weapon. Booker. What do you intend to do, Herr Grafstein? Are you yourself worried that this boy's too much? How about this? You throw his body into a cremation furnace, or are you too afraid of losing another son? Grafstein. What? Booker. Don't play stupid with me, Grafstein. I have seen the letter that you've given to that monster. How adorable of the letter as well. You really think that this thing has any humanity in it? An audible smack can be heard. Booker has struck Grafstein. Booker, listen to me. And listen to me well, Grafstein. If it wasn't for me needing more men on this god-forsaken bunker, I would have had you shot. But since I've been so nice for you, keep this in mind. The last thing you will see once you enter that room again, to turn that monster into ash, will be my very boots. Be a good dog and go remove the monster from existence. A guard walks in and whispers to Booker. Booker. No. How can it be? How? However, it seems to be the matter of her Booker. The monster, his body, it's gone. End of the translated recording interview. A month has passed and the search of P001's body is underway. Little to no results have been found of his whereabouts. As of September 1st, the search has expanded to the town of Seafield. Still no results. More nightmares within the camp have become frequent. So there's been a lot more nightmares happening at that point. The Reichstag requires the living weapons to be shown by September 20th, forcing the Hellgate bunker to send F001 by September 5th. F001's transportation truck goes missing and presumed captured by the Soviets. That is where a lot of shit has happened. between the times of September 5th of 1943 and between the times of September 1st, 1943, there has been a lot of issues within the Hellgate. Not only while they were gone, a lot of issues have been happening within that time period. At this point, everyone in the bunker basically presumes that D001 is dead. There's no way that they could have figured it out until the afternoon of September 1st, where for some reason, mysteriously, the body of D001 goes missing. No one knows where it's at. No one knows where it goes. All they know is that the body bag that where it's supposed to be in, close to the incinerator room, is gone. The only trace that they have left is just blood on the table. That's it. That's the only trace that they had of D001. So, I'll continue onward with the rest of the tale. Bunkers face complete and utter shutdown of productions, leaving only one viable option with FS units. The FS units Mark V. Throughout the years, these units have been made as a contingency plan to secure the possible deployment of future troops. Each unit undead soldier is equipped with 3 possible roles. FS unit Schreifer Schultz. I'm trying to remember my terms. Equipped with a heavy and reinforced pack carrying ammunition of the MG-34 mounted on its arms. The FS unit explosive or scout. Both a worthy soldier to go to the front lines and toss itself into armored machinery and or vehicles. FS soldier, but sold in bits. Soldaten bits. There we go. Fast and agile, better for a complete disassembling of enemy foot soldiers and morale. Over 300 of these FS units are kept frozen under the bunker. The German High Command is arriving within October 30th to witness their revival. That is the end of chapter 2. All right, let's do this. Another intermission. All right, so you guys got anything to ask me? Ask away. I'm sorry if I kind of butchered the German there in the last minute. I don't really remember that much, but I'm trying. I am going to add a little bit of a note there on the FS units. It has been nearly a good 2-year development of Red Lake, basically having to have a lot of different body parts, a lot of different soldiers being sent over there that were already dead. And it was also believed that they also did some live human experimentation with captured enemies and or other horrible acts they did there with Indian civilians that they found on the way there. Anything that happened in the Hull and Tor bunker was a travesty. And that's a complete understatement with how horrible shit has gotten. Most of the time, the reason why some of the soldiers ended up getting nightmares was a form of torture from D001. The way that it was kind of happening was through a form of mental, there was a lot of mental psychosis happening within that bunker in that entire year. And the worst part is, the more and more D001 was abused and or basically forced to do inhumane acts of just killing random POWs for the bunker, because right here they didn't really say that much. The bunker basically expunged a lot of things. However, we do have records from a lot of coexisting files that basically say that D001 was forced to actually consume living tissue at some point from prisoners of war, and that was one of the further war crimes that happened within that bunker. That being said, yeah, you guys can just go ahead and tell me any questions that you have, and I will answer them as best as I can. ready. All right. Does this sprite kill the parasite, by the way? No, it doesn't. The thing is, once the one thing that the Hollentor bunker didn't really understand at the time is that the parasite cannot be killed simple. Like, you can't really kill that thing simply, like just with simple like chemistry. There's a lot of shit that comes down to it. One of the major issues that comes with it is the fact that itself becomes grafted to the spine of any Dax or Fox or Daxine or Fox counter that can basically end up having the skin within the worm itself or the parasite basically become hard. It has the properties of basically hardened steel and obsidian. You can't really kill it because it's basically stuck that way. It's also any form of like trying to jab at it or like stab it or do anything like that releases a type of toxic fume and or acid that kills the person that tries to stab it. So basically at this point, they start realizing that the consequences of their actions, and when they assume one of the Daxes isn't allowed any assume one of the Daxes isn't all that important now that it will. Well, since he was allegedly dead, right? Well, it's not just one of the Daxes. No, this is the original story. Like, this is D001. This is the actual beginning. Like, this is the actual first Dax. The one that started the split. I'm gonna explain that later. I need to stop spoiling you guys. Chapter 3, Blood Red Moonlight. September 30th, 1943 through October 30th. Get ready. It's gonna get rough. This is the last chapter, by the way. Last chapter of this entire recording. I also realized that there's a lot of typos I did. I'm not really a good writer when it comes to putting down all of these things, but I did my best to make sure all of these files work together as intended. So, here we go. Obergruppenführer Booker gets a letter from the German High Command. Letter is as written. As authorized from the Reichstag, we hereby demand results of the Hollentor bunker facility to be ready by October 30th. If the officials do not see any results in lack of any essential work made by you and your bunker, we will finalize our report to the Führer himself. Do not disappoint us, Herr Booker. Signed, Obergruppenführer Hoffmann. That is... We didn't really get the chance to explain who he is, as well as the other Obergruppenführer. Those are basically the bosses of Booker. Booker is basically in charge of that entire bunker. However, those guys are the ones who are ready to basically strike at him if they do not see any results, and or basically there was a contingency plan to basically bomb that area, by the way. If the finalization was originally going to be straight up bombing that bunker with everyone in it, by the way. Most, if not a majority of the bunker is undergoing complete removal of any signs of D001 and F001's existence. Nightmares of horrific blood moons and having become more common amongst the soldiers and even the scientists. The nightmares have gotten worse. Grafstein has been kept far away from D001's cell room, except for one night on October 20th, carrying a peculiar package. The content of this package is carrying an old uniform of D001 and Grafstein's Iron Cross. From outside a 10-man team of the SS Guards, ordered by Booker to ambush and capture Grafstein. October 20th, 1943. Time 23:50. Recording from an audio from outside with the radio from the guards outside of the cell. Grafstein, I'm sorry. I really am. I tried to see if I can set you free somehow. I ended up just getting another boy killed for my actions. This damn war. This damn bunker. All of it. An old man should never outlive that on which he sees as a son. I shouldn't have shot you in the head, dear boy. Yet here I am talking to myself. Go see your wife. The recording corrupts beyond this point. Guards break into the room the moment they realize that the radio recording gets cut off completely, only to reveal there is a dark room only lit with the light of a bright red moon. The blood moon has arrived. That night, the town of Seafield heard screams of men, and the town's leadership warned everyone to stay indoors due to an unusual blood moon. That is the strange part. During the time of this entire ordeal, there was no blood moon recording other than the town of Seafield. There was a strange anomaly within the weather and everything within that area that showed the moon being completely blood red. Constant nightmares in a general area were rapid. There was no way of getting around it, and anyone who basically saw it from an outside perspective said the entire place was covered in a red fog. Many to this day believe that this is an omen to be cursed upon the town. Records from the night indicate that the bunker began to burn from the inside out, following each floor getting covered in the bloody remains of soldiers trying to fend off E-001. An intercepted radio message to any and all nearby Wehrmacht and German forces translated below as of 0140, October 21st, 1943. Hello, please, we need immediate reinforcements. We are in the coordinates redacted for public safety. There's a monster here killing us all. Please, someone fucking help us. Oh god, he's breached the front gate of the bunker. Distant gunshots and screaming could be heard within the recording. October 30th, 1943, the German High Command decided to bomb the area of the bunker and camp after the radio transmission was heard that night by Obergruppenführer Schneider. The entire bunker and experiments of what occurred was to be completely removed from any records of the Reichstag and the German High Command. November 4th, 1968, the SPD, the Special Paranormal Division, is established after a secret meeting between the US, Germany, and Austria to examine any anomalies from the ruins of the Hellgate bunker. October 3rd, 1989, the Special Paranormal Division began excavation efforts of the Hellgate bunker. Miraculously, inside, certain sections of the bunker remain untouched. Documents and evidence of D001 and F001 and the Red Lake Project exist. That is where we got all of these transmissions and all of these letters and everything within this time. January 25th, 1994, SPD Flame Kit Rangers are deployed to eradicate remains of FS units from the underground sections of the lab. Almost all the FS units have been destroyed except for one subject kept in a constant in containment by the SPD for observation and testing. July 19th, 1997, a strange fox-eared woman is seen walking to the streets of Europe. She is captured by the SPD and identified as Ember Fox Crowley, with a K, by the way. Or just Fox, due to her large fox ears. Currently, she is in a safe environment in the SPD's offices. Yep, that is Fox. I will explain her whereabouts between the entirety of 1943 all the way to the 70s, 60s, 50s, and 80s, and all the way to the 90s later down the line. We need to get a little bit more confirmation from Fox herself. From the reports of only survivors only managed 3. Oh wait, no. From reports only From the reports of all these survivors, only 3 have managed to get out with their lives. All 190 personnel from the Wehrmacht and the SS facing B001, none survived. This included Obergruppenführer Booker, whose mangled head was found in the table of his office with a bullet hole directly in the forehead of a 9mm pistol. The head was found by an excavation team of the Special Paranormal Division. No one knew what happened to Grabstein after the blood moon of 1943. Dr. Weber was arrested for his involvement in the creation of living weapons and put to death via electric chair on December 30th, 1970. Curiously, during his death, a loud gunshot was heard in the excavation room, revealing the doctor was struck by a 9mm bullet to the forehead. No one in the room knew how and where that bullet came from. 1998. A blood moon was and a strange signal from the SPD anomaly system goes live. Dax T. Crowley has returned. Dr. Roses is assigned as handler and caretaker of D001 by the SPD, as well as co-assist and handler to Dr. Keller. From the reports, it shows that D001 returned with a white horse in tow. And that is it. That is the origins of 1943. We have done it. We have revealed all the shit that we needed to for the very beginning of 1943. Now, the major difference is that I'm going to have to explain a lot more down the line. However, this is not a more interactive way. I would have liked to explain a lot of this stuff. There are still some things we need to fix, as in with record keeping. I didn't get it. Wait, you didn't get it. 1968. That's much later than expected. The SPD was basically established around that time because it was still a little bit of a touchy subject, considering the fact that Austria was kind of a hotbed, and at the time there was still the Iron Curtain situation that was happening between the wars. However, there was a secret pact between the Soviets, the United States, Austria, and a lot of the NATO countries to basically establish a beacon of, hey, if we ever get any form of anomalies like this, we have to work together, because this is beyond us. We can't let our grievances between our countries get in the way, because this is universal and global threat right here. Like, this is bad juju. So yeah, that was the entirety of D001's origin, and as well as F001's origin. Yeah, but if you guys have any questions, please let me know right now. I am going to explain a lot of stuff here in a bit. I will keep this as a VOD, because I definitely will be coming back to this VOD down the line to make sure everything is written well, and to make sure that everything stays consistent to a certain degree. That way there's no misinformation. So yeah, there's the timeline. Of course, I can explain some of the timeline that happens within this this entire ordeal. Right here we have 1838. That was the original Crowley. That was we don't really have his full name yet, but yeah, that was baby Dex right there. Baby Dex. We're just gonna call him Baby Dex because that's the best one we can go. Because again, we don't really know the first name. Basically orphaned during Mexico, traveled from Mexico to the United States to the UK, and from there to France, where he became a doctor. Not a really, interesting one to say the least yet, because again, we still need to find more files. However, 1850, he's not 22. He became a doctor, a mad doctor. He stole organs from people that didn't really benefit his way of thinking. And hey, Nick, thank you for the 2.79 Canadian. New lettering in red, orange, and yellow. Understandable. Oh yeah, 1850, that's when he was presumed dead, because as far as we know, there was a town that basically killed him, and a nurse that basically worked alongside with him. Basically accused of witchcraft, which was kind of a cover-up from what we believe. and both of their remains were put in lockboxes and sent to the catacombs of France. 1943, you guys already know what happened around 1943. I told you all everything what happened around then. Basically, lockbox gets sent to Austria from France because they found the remains and occult ideas of what happened around that time in the France, in the Paris catacombs, and sent all the way to Germany, to Austria, and basically reconstructed there. 1998 to 2025. That's us, baby. That's our time right now. So yeah, there is all what you need to know about everything. I guess that makes sense since the U.S. government began funding paranormal programs from the 60s to the early 90s and the real life against the Soviets. The thing is, they kind of believed that Fox was a Soviet spy at first, but then they kind of realized that she was a runaway due to losing her father figure, which was I believe it was a lumberjack. She managed to get past the entirety of East Berlin, I believe. Yeah, it was East Berlin, and somehow ended up finding her way in, I believe it was either France or something. That basically she was trying to find the origins of where she was at. Somehow she ended up in Paris and Spain and then the UK. And then I believe she went all the way to Austria. That being said, I should get in a call. That way I can actually answer any questions from close by people here. I just want to do that real quick because I'm pretty sure this is actually a pretty good amount of time for me to record this. But yeah, no, that is basically the explanation of 1943. Down the line, once we get more records of the 1838 time and the 1850 time, we will add more to it. However, I feel like 1943 was a good start of where everything kind of started as lore-wise. I would have gone a little bit more, and honestly, I'm kind of hoping to not really say much because I do plan on making this into a full-fledged project, that being like a comic or maybe even a game. I would prefer making a game, honestly, because that would be fun and more interactive for all of you. That being said, yeah. If you guys, again, tell me any questions that you have with either Fox, me, or, any form. Oh, yeah. Someone did have an earlier question about the vaccine. So what was not written down here was later down the line between 1998, D001 goes missing again. We don't have his original body at all. However, when he goes missing, a massive time anomaly happens and D002 shows up. D002 is Daxine. She is the counter, the female counter on a different universe to D001. And she becomes extremely essential when it comes to reporting on what happens, especially when it comes to the especially when it comes to the idea of where she was supposed to go. Basically reporting that she was in a different timeline and a different timeline of events that basically led up to her understanding that the universe that she was going to go visit was basically doomed, and she was working as a what's it called? Warning sign to everyone that it was going to be a bad idea to just let this all pass. This was literally just Fox explaining, well, not Fox. This is basically just explaining that once that parasite came to an existence in that universe, they were all doomed. The anomalies within that universe and here, and in a strange way, become a paradox. Especially when it comes to the idea of once D001 left that universe, he left a temporal rift in which a lot of different Daxes ended up showing up. And that's why you guys have a lot of different versions of me. So yeah. If you're also wondering different personalities and different shows. Different personalities and different people that end up showing up once in a while. They all do have something to do with the timeline. Uh, Let me get it real quick. I'm gonna get different timelines here for you guys that way you can understand each and every one of them. I will not explain to a further degree some of them because I do plan on explaining them in a later line like explanation just to make sure. Let's see if I can find the other one in the box. There are plenty of others that I need to have show you guys. Eyeshadow. Hello? Hello? Shadow? Hello? Can you hear me? I guess not. But yeah, I will explain also, you know what, just to make it a little bit more simpler, since we're barely only like an hour and 27 minutes in. Turn that off. Turn that one off. I already explained Parasite. Oh yeah. Here's one little sketch that we have of 1943 Dex. Ain't he happy? It's not bad. Oh yeah. Of course, so when did the SPD started encountering other SPDs, or have they other interdimensional encounters, or is it just classified? We have that still classified. What we do know is that there are other SPDs that basically work in tandem with them. Some of them are basically debunked. They are not no longer existing due to like a lot of different issues within their universe, but that's beside the point. Oh god, I've been talking for like an entire hour straight. God damn. Just in a bit. There we go. All right. So the same thing happened with Fox's previous life. Discord isn't working correctly. Sorry about that. You're good. 1838, orphan from Mexico, gets sent from Mexico to the United States and to the UK, then to France, and then becomes a nurse. And we don't really know her actual full name, so she goes by Nurse C. Nurse C. She works alongside Dr. Crowley, basically helps with operations and trying to figure out where certain non-helpful people exist. She also ends up getting killed around 1850 and her remains get sent to the catacombs of France. And then you got 1943, which I'm sure you guys already know about. 1943 for her was entirely different because she was basically kept in a stasis for a majority of the time and sent from Austria to Germany. But the problem is, between that time, Soviet spies basically took the transport truck that she was going to be in and sent her to the Soviet Union, in which they basically ran tests with her and tried to see if she was useful, but she ended up escaping them, and she ended up becoming a valuable friend towards what's it called? She became a valuable friend and daughter figure to a lumberjack that we still don't really know about. Let me see if I can do that real quick. Uh, Let me see real quick. Uh, duh, 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 duh. Mm, Sorry, I didn't mean to do something here real quick. Automatic adjust. Okay, there we go. I think I fixed it. All right. So after that entire ordeal with, that father figure of her basically dying of, I believe it was a cold or some form of sickness. I don't recall. She ended up moving and or running away from her home in Soviet Russia, all the way to getting past the Berlin Wall and traveling around Europe to figure out where she originated from, because obviously she was very strange. No one really seen a person with animal shit on her. Anything though of any introduction of any human characters that will have you keep them mysterious for now? There are a few human elements. Some of them had to be explained a little bit down the line. I see, also known as Ice King, as a anomaly because he basically is what is known as a temporal anomaly. Basically, somehow, in some way, he ended up finding a time-traveling bottle of booze somewhere, and anytime he drinks that bottle of booze, he ends up waking up in a new timeline, and he ends up selling firearms to places that he's not supposed to. The SPD was extremely pissed at him for one time because he ended up giving firearms to a local tribe of cavemen. That was a mistake on a lot of people's end because somehow he ended up acquiring a bunch of firearms and training cavemen to hunt with said firearms. That's a different story. We also have GROS, also known as Grouch. He is also a temporal anomaly. We don't really know much about him either. We'll talk about a hangover. Yeah, no, there's a lot of temporal anomalies. Oh, let me explain something. So, of course, you got a bunch of ideas with Fox here. She is so what you guys might not know is that, yes, me and Fox do share the last name Crowley. However, hers is with a K. Very different. The thing is, the reason why they were given the name Crowley was because it was all under the name Crowley. Because that is how the identification worked during the bunker process. However, the other identification was F001 for her and D001 for Dex. Speak of the fucking double! Hello, Stinky. Are you gonna speak there? Hi.
Hi. Yo.
Hi. We're just explaining the lore. Explaining the lore and why you have the last name Crowley with a K.
What the fuck? Huh? What do you mean?
I was explaining to chat that during the war, both Dax and Fox got the last name Crowley as identification based on the lockbox that the remains were found in. Also explain the reason why you ended up in Russia and your fucking dead lumberjack dad.
My father.
Yeah.
I miss him.
I know you do. And also how Fox's great European adventure after crossing the Berlin Wall and looking around everywhere in Europe. It was fun.
It was hell.
It was fun.
I don't know why you're talking. I don't know why you're talking.
It was a great time.
It was hell. It was hell.
Everyone was making weird looks at her for having big fucking ears. Now, we're gonna explain another person. Amy. As Fox is dancing. So Amy's is very particular.
Yeah.
Amy's was basically a story of a family of, at the time, vampires. The thing is, in this universe, a lot of different things actually exist, like werewolves, vampires, undead, liches, ghouls, anything you can think of. However, it's not as common as you think it is. However, with Amy, she was a special case due to the fact that during the time of 1830, or 1838, she was still around 14 years old. Around that time, her father was a vampire from Africa. However, her mother was a vampire from a vampire family of, or believed vampire family. They were still relatively normal people, except for certain people within their families. They married into the family and had her. However, her mother we don't really know about. Some say she was more of a German descended woman. That's why she ended up growing up in the 1850s and finding a really strange connection with a now very strange man by the name of Dr. Crowley, due to the fact that he was being seen as a miracle worker. He basically would find ways to heal people, not only with very questionable surgeries, but also with very interesting potions, quote unquote potions. In reality, it was just medicine. And yeah, that was basically just what would happen with her. She was very enthralled with that. However, during the times of when Dr. Crowley dies, she ended up not really taking that well and underwent a form of vampirism through her family bloodline, basically activating a long dormant gene within herself with a mix of devil's blood or something like that. That was basically what was believed to be called devil's blood, when in reality it was just very synthesized and experimental blood that was basically being worked on. After that, she goes in a coma for a long time and wakes up in 1943. Her name gets changed from Amy Krause to Amy Keller. The reason why she changed her name was mainly because during this time period, the German military and the German government basically confiscated the entire wealth of her family and put her to be experimented on in that bunker. However, before they could even get the chance to do that, the Allies intercepted and found a way to get her. And this time around, instead of it being like Soviets, it was actually taken to her. Oh wait, no, let me explain something else. There was a small thing that happened between that time period. While in her resting spot, basically, like her sarcophagus was being taken away to go over there because her family basically went broke. They couldn't afford to live there anymore. The German military and government seized power from her family, and they basically thought of like, well, we need the blood of, quote unquote vampires. So they took blood from quote unquote vampires. That's how some of the reanimation for the Red Lake Project happened, and that's how a lot of basic undead basically. However, she was dormant, so there was no way of getting that blood until way later, and even then, she was lost in transit, and the Americans basically picked her up and sent her to the United States. The one thing that you should understand about this universe is that vampires and vampirism, they are susceptible to sunlight and other holy things. However, not as much as most media portrays it to be, because she can still handle to being outside. However, she tends to have more darker skin complexion, and the darker skin complexion actually helps a lot because that basically prevents the sunlight from really hurting her that much. Normal vampires would end up burning up a lot faster. However, with her, it just feels like it's a little bit more hotter than usual. Now, when that happens in 1998, around that time, she ends up getting word that a very particular cat and fox features end up showing up and kind of messing things up, and becomes the handler to D001, or co-handler. So Dr. Roses is involved as a somewhat surrogate mother to D001 and F001. But yeah, that is the whole 1943 timeline explained, and everything else that is small. We will be explaining a lot more later down the line when I get more people, like records scripted out and everything. There's got to be a lot more to this as well. But yeah, what do you guys think? This was a was a very fun project. I'm sorry that I really couldn't have a more mysterious way of explaining shit. But yeah, this is basically how it will all be shown for now. As well, there is something really, really cool that is being made. I do want to emphasize that a lot of this is a lot of still ongoing stories that are going to be told through word of mouth, and a lot of record keeping on my end, and a lot of record keeping on Fox's end, for her own thing. Because the thing you got to keep in mind is a lot of these personalities and characters are on their own different stories and are being basically held together through this one tangible story. Supernatural beings existed before Dax came to life. Makes me question in the SPD had encountered deities. The problem is it's not deities, it's straight up just like mutations. Consider them mutations in a way, but also they're not really full mutations because there are certain things that they can't really explain when it comes to like supernatural entities. Like there has been confirmation that the Aztecs had worms that were basically parasitic, that were the equivalent of the QZL worm parasite that both Foxes and Dax have. But like I said, that one worm in particular is a catalyst to what happens later down in 1998. And it has been on record that the worms themselves do communicate via brainwaves to any host that they have, especially the D001 host. After that, they were all basically just shown as basically transmissions to like basically keep in contact with what is known as the higher entity. The higher entity is a demon that is basically in control of a lot of fucked up shit. The worm is basically seen as a demon that can basically be in communication with anything and everyone. Now, what happens with D001, the original, is he ended up figuring out that you can create portals between time and space by digging into the dirt and basically just coming out of the dirt itself within a day's time, and you come out in a different timeline or a different universe. The problem is, if your parasite is not completely stable and or like one-to-one with like the brainwaves of a Dax, it kind of fucks with shit and end up in a really messy situation. But yeah, that's the lore explained. I think I'm gonna keep going for like another 15 minutes, and then I'm gonna call it a day. This is all I really had planned for today. Tomorrow I do have something very big planned for you guys when it comes to me playing video games, of course. We're at the moment, but yeah.
Video games. No, don't forget about the art.
Oh yeah. All right, hold on. Keep them entertained for a while.
Wait. Huh? What? Hey guys. You like saying slurs? Go at it. Say fuck! Never mind, we can't say slurs no more.
What?
Dex left me with the chat, so I was gonna say, do you like saying slurs?
No, and then I joined in at that exact moment, I
suppose.
suppose.
Then you joined in, and what? Well, we can't say slurs
I heard
now.
what you said, Brother Complex. Once again, pretty solid Cat Crow. Not much I can really add other than liking the context in order so I can properly comprehend it. Even though it would have taken a rewatch or two to remember all the details, because my memory can be selective as fuck sometimes. Well, again, there's a lot of things. I forgot to mention that anyone who shows up in this call is a temporal anomaly, because there is a lot of temporal bullshit happening.
What?
Yeah.
Like Shadow,
like
he's
you,
a normal
Shadow.
human. Oh, wait, actually, no.
Like you.
A little puppet, right?
I am a bear puppet, yes.
Bear puppet, yeah.
Like
There's a lot of anomalies. Well, an actual living human would have been like Crouch and Ice King. Anyone else is basically an anomaly. Any VTubers I collab with are anomalies as well. They're all canon to a certain degree. And yes, chat,
Whole
any
universe.
different art styles also involve a different universe. Involving that one too.
Huh?
You heard me.
I don't know what you're talking about.
The Coffin universe.
There you go.
No, I don't know what he's talking about.
The only unfortunate reason why I say that and pointing at her is because I really don't have another PNG for her. I'll have to make one later.
I'm killing myself.
What? What's wrong?
Huh?
Oh, by the way, chat, if you do want to know something, there is a playlist that I have made for 3 so far. There's a playlist for Dax, there's a playlist for Fox, and there's a playlist for Amy that I made on Spotify. And all of them do have something to do with the characters themselves. Me being a temporary.
You made mine as a fucking joke!
No, I didn't.
Yes, you did!
What do you mean? There's not a joke in that one. Being a temporary, it kind of makes sense since I've been making my own SPD. Oh yeah, no, like that's the fun thing. The fun thing about this whole thing is that you guys can have fun with it as well.
Mm-hmm.
However, when it comes down to it, I have the only clearance when it comes to making anything factual within the universe. Because, again, I'm basically the record keeper at the moment.
Especially with other people having their own files as well.
Yep.
I feel that SBD would have a field day with Carlo, in a way.
I'm sure they'll be fine. I mean, granted, they literally kidnapped Fox and made sure she didn't do anything stupid in Europe for like an entire year.
Huh?
I'm sure the reason why I say that is that multiversal travel can be quite a bitch to track someone.
Oh, trust me, no. They know their shit about that.
Huh?
But yeah. Do you have any questions, Fox?
Can I go home?
No. This is your home.
No. Kind of like it back. I kind of want to pay a visit.
Your
You know.
father's dead. There's nothing to go back
I
home
want to pay a visit.
Don't worry, Fox. My father figure died in Nazi Germany. Actually, it was Nazi Austria.
I was about to say.
Actually, I don't even know if he's dead. I have no idea where the fuck he's at.
You go find him.
Nah, I can't.
Yeah. Listen, man. At least I don't have daddy issues.
Yeah, I do know what you do have, though.
No.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
No. Not true.
Brocon.
Not true at all. No.
I should make like a SpongeBob type sign that points directly at you. It just says Brocon.
No.
Really funny if I did though.
I want to go home, man. I want to go back to the cabin. I want to see how it is.
Wanna wake up in Texas. The ocean's no place for
I also kind of want to
us.
know if the people remembers me.
Nah. If anything,
Probably not.
they probably don't.
They'll be
because
in fear.
You ran away from the fucking Soviet Union. I don't know how the fuck you managed to do that. I might need to think about the history of my SPD, but I'm too focused on the SPD of the 2000s. You'll know about it later. There's a lot of shit I need to go down when it comes to the SPD as well, because they are very vital when it comes to the information of everything else.
I don't know how the fuck that lumberjack took care of me. How did he manage? I really don't know how.
Well, you're gonna have to figure that one out because we don't know anything about that.
I know, and I'm still trying to remember.
Wait. Oh,
I am
by the
crazy.
way, you still have that straight jacket, by the way?
Eh?
Yeah, that straight jacket.
Yeah. Well, bits of it.
That makes sense.
It's because I used some of the materials.
Oh yeah, there's Fox. You can tell it's hurt by the mental illness.
Eh?
Mental illness. Mental illness.
I am mental.
Illness. Look at you, so young and happy. Where did the years
Dang.
go? That's you.
Oh, you're
Well,
talking.
that was you in a
Dang.
previous life.
What the fuck is that little girl?
That was you in a previous life.
I'm gonna kill her.
Look at you. Fox, that's literally you. That's literally you.
I'm gonna kill myself.
Or
Wipe
Fox,
her off from the existence.
It could be worse.
Eh?
Could have been this guy.
Eh?
Anyways, chat, you guys have any more questions? Anything to answer? I mean, I got me like that one speech stream with how hard I'm trying to not laugh.
Ah, shit! Oh!
Yeah, you deserve that.
I've been blasted by music.
Oh, by the way, I was gonna tell you guys, each and every Dex does have a restrainer. One of the restrainers is the plague mask. However, it became extremely cumbersome to the point that they kind of had to make a secondary restrainer for abilities to make sure they don't fucking explode. One of them being like personal objects. The personal object was basically the Iron Cross that was given from the tank commander, Grabstein. However, Fox also has one with her little scarf and little joker right here. No restrainers.
Eh?
No power restrainers to make sure you don't explode.
Mm.
However, they are based on person to person. So if you were to swap this to a Dax, it becomes unstable. And if you were to swap the plague mask with the, actually, let me explain that. I do have the file. You ruined the evening.
Huh?
Oh, you don't remember that thing I sent you?
Oh yeah, I saw that. What the fuck? What the?
You ruined my evening.
Come on, say the rest.
No.
Say the rest.
No.
Don't be a coward. Come on, say the rest.
No, no, no,
Say the rest.
no, no, no.
Has Fox ever interacted with the small Dax scene from with the teddy bear from the Soviet Union? That one was really strange because that was the one universe where Fox didn't exist. There was a second one that also has that, which was the Red Mother Dax scene. But the one difference is that the I'm pretty sure that the Dax scene from Red Mother universe was made by the Soviets and not the Germans. And that scene with the teddy bear was made by the Germans, but the transport pod was lost and taken by the Soviets. Both those universes are the ones where Fox doesn't really exist. I guess I can't find that. Okay, yeah.
Must
so
be.
Weird.
Well.
Good.
No.
What's
Killing myself in this game.
why?
I don't know. Also, like, my whole body is just shivering because it's cold in here.
Oh yeah, no shit. You need to get a fucking blanket or something, dingus. Oh yeah, there are also different universes of Fox, by the way, including this one. No clue what this one's about.
Huh?
Care to explain, Fox?
Unknown. Very unknown.
Very unknown.
Very unknown.
Very unknown.
I don't know what. I don't know what you guys are talking about.
All right. If that's not the case, then what about this one?
I don't know what you're talking about.
This one.
I don't know what you're
What about
talking
that one?
Unknown still. I don't know.
Okay. Actually, yeah. Let's make that. Okay. Let's see if Fox recognizes any of these. Let's see. All right, what about this one, Fox?
Oh.
Actually, I can answer this one. It's an experimentation Fox that somehow managed to survive from the 40s all the way to the 2200s, in which this one I believe is from the Fallout universe, marked by the Enclave story right here, that she was used as a small little infiltration gecko woman because the original DNA that she had
That was
got corrupted.
mutated.
Yeah, she mutated. FEV bullshit. Anyways, the funny part about this entire ordeal is the fact that she became shorter and more stackier for some reason.
Don't say it like that, man.
Alright. Oh, actually, this one's a very fascinating one. This one is a swap, actually. So instead of Fox leaving to be in the Soviet Union, it was actually Dax that left to be in the Soviet Union. Or actually got captured and sent. So there's another universe out there in which Fox ended up staying and experiencing the same things that D001 did. You don't believe me? Well, funny you should say that.
True.
There it is. Exact same outfit and everything. Wow.
It's true.
It's true. Alright. Let's see another one. In another universe. Ah, yes, my favorite. No!
Huh?
That one didn't work. Oh, that image got corrupted.
Which one?
Oh, my Fox is sick.
Help, my fox is sick. Am I really sick though? Well, mentally yes, but
Mentally, yeah. There's a lot of universes where Fox likes doing cosplay as well.
No.
Explain this then, Dingus.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Alright then.
Shush.
Right. Wait, not that one, not that one, not that one, not that one!
Not sure how that one got in there.
You saw nothing.
Okay.
There is a lot of other files I have here. Oh yeah, Skater. Skater's a very interesting one. That's an anomaly. So this one, the pod that basically created D001 didn't really manifest what they were looking for, as in he was still a fetus. However, when they were basically borderline about to like destroy the entire project and realize, wow, this is a fucking terrible fucking subject, somehow the blood moon still happened and everyone in that fucking bunker mysteriously disappeared. Everyone. Until the 1990s, in which they found the bunker, and this full-grown ass man was in that bunker. He just kind of made it his own little home and then proceeded to be taken in by that universe's SPD, and he doesn't really have any combat prowess other than just skating around and just being an alright, just general dingus. That's it. We don't know what the Fox version of Skater's universe is, but that's all we really know is Skater just kind of exists in his own little pocket dimension. We see more alternates.
You have the Bloodborne one with mine and yours.
Oh yeah, Hunter Dax. Yeah, this one was a weird temporal issue. However, instead of being reanimated in our timeline, also basically shadows right there. He was born. He was born through the anomalies that was inside of the Bloodborne universe. Yes, my favorite evolutionary perpetual short stack syndrome. They're talking about Fox. Yeah, this is actually one of the few entities that has the ears not on top of the head, but on the side. He's got the weird animalistic trait from the game. Like I said, there's a lot of variables, especially when it comes to certain outfits and or anything like that, because they're all basically different universes. Now let me explain this motherfucker. So, in the most grand scheme of most universes, we have a few universes in which they show evil or malicious versions of Dax. One of them being the Frankenstein one, which is the successful output of D001 in a different universe becoming a actual living weapon. This one, on the other hand, is Bunnyman. Bunnyman, we do not know much about.
No. Oh no.
Yeah.
No.
Bunnyman is so unknown that we don't know how he was created. All we know is that there was a point in which he became a TV show host and killed an entire city's worth of population by taking their souls via the fucking television screen.
I don't like this.
Also, Fox somehow just feels really uncomfortable around him. I don't know why.
It gives me bad feelings, man.
He's quite the hard motherfucker to escape as well.
Around.
We're explaining lore.
Huh?
Oh, Lord.
Fuck!
You love lore. Lore drop on me. I'm on a farm.
Whoa.
Sure.
Wow.
If I can find more. Oh, yeah. So, oh yeah, by the way, Chad, I'm going to fix that down here. But Kudahan, this little guy, he basically became a little mascot for me. He is the...
I missed. Where's the crow? Where the fuck did you do with that motherfucker?
He's in there, Fox.
No, I want
He's
the
a
crow
cat
back.
crow, remember?
I want the crow.
Too bad.
Can I have the crow, please?
Fox, Kudohan is the crow. His DNA had to be spliced.
He got absolutely dumpstered in a Fortnite 1v1, and Dax had to stitch him back together with a
That
cat.
is actually kind of true. He did kind of get
dumpstered.
Oh, I do have to show you guys this one. This one's a very fascinating one. So this last segment is really going to last only like a few minutes, and then after that, I will stop the stream. So this one is Dax Vlad Crowley. So in this universe, it's normally it all goes the same. However, this is a different timeline in which the Dr. Keller ended up actually successfully being transferred to the Hollenstor bunker. However, by the time that happened, the Soviets already were very close to there, and the only form that they could have actually resurrected D001 was basically by keeping Dr. Keller and this version of D001 in a constant state of blood recycling, and he basically became more vampiric. He became a vampire. However, that came with the price of him basically just having to hunt down where Dr. Keller's at because that was the first taste that he had of blood. Very romantic universe, but it's downright kind of tragic in a way. All right, let me go with more. I'm going to show you guys more lore.
Wow.
Man.
Wow. So cool.
Lord.
Lord!
Yep.
See if I can find
Alright, give me a Kanto starter I should choose.
nuts. Okay. This is also an anomaly one. This one is somewhat true, somewhat not. So these aren't technically real Daxes or a Daxine. These are both basically just cartoons that actually became alive. And the only reason why they ended up becoming alive was back in the 1910s. They were basically reintroduced via strange Aztec ink blood magic. And it was by complete accident because the SPD in that universe was a studio animators. This was the only surviving imprint that they had of these two. It's the only one of the few universes where Dax and Daxine exist, considering the fact that they were just cartoons.
I'm not gonna say anything. I'm not gonna say anything.
What?
No,
You
say
can
it.
say
Infinity in the
yeah, there
Machine.
you go.
Infinity in the Machine.
Granted,
Yeah.
like that was one of the few influences, but at the same time, a lot of temporal anomalies. Way too many. Funny enough, this one can actually show a lot of how most Daxes fight. They're all we tend to use flesh manipulation weaponry and just flat out scaring the shit out of the opponent.
These are just falling out just horror.
Yep.
I don't know what Kanto starter I should choose.
Squirtle.
I was actually Squirtle, yeah.
I was actually kind of debating on that.
There is Daxine. She's pretty. Ignore the fat, juicy ass I gave her.
It's nothing but ass.
You want me to show ass? Okay.
No.
Oh, wait,
No,
hold
wait,
on.
no.
There we go.
Like the Legend of the Phoenix.
No. No. Not Velma.
Why is Smux submissive and breedable?
Well, you want... Oh, I can't show that. Oh, I can't... Wait, actually, no, I can't show this one.
What the fuck? No. No. Ah.
But like I said, a lot of different temporal anomalies, a lot of fun. Oh, funny enough, here's the one of the first few images that we have of Project Reaper.
Wait.
Yeah, look at that.
It's
Reaping.
you.
Yeah, this is actually D001, like the original.
Who's he reaping?
Everyone.
Oh. What the fuck?
And
Motherfucker just gave me money. Oh.
let's see. I have more here that I can show you guys, and then we'll call it a night. Oh yeah, no, we're almost done. Oh yeah, it is canonical that this motherfucker is also in a parallel universe.
Goddamn sketchy.
It's sketchy. However, it's Orin. He also was made out of ink, or some form of cosmic ink, or whatever the fuck.
No, it's goo.
Cosmic
Well to know is
It's-
known information from him as well.
It goo. It goo. It do be goo.
egg,
It goo.
egg, Oh yeah, these are also canon. These are Daxlings. Weird little like. These are temporal
We are the
anomalies.
Daxlings. Please show us your feet.
They are
What the fuck?
they're really strange because they have the same Dax properties, like same DNA and everything, but they are not very similar to us in shape. However, we still love them equally. There's a lot of them around the office.
They're cute.
They're cute. Tell me about it. My SVU is already dealing with the supernatural global outbreak.
Yeah, just think about this, Pippin.
Fuck.
Cute little purple.
It's all fun and
bird
games till you
thing.
see a Daxling floating in a toilet, belly up.
Just think that away.
Damn it, Dax! The Daxling down the. Damn it, Dax! The Daxling drowned in the toilet again.
Let me see what spring is like.
Jupiter and Mars.
Right,
In other words.
Get greeted by
What the fuck?
5 werewolves.
No.
Holy shit, how the fuck can she handle all that shit?
You play Dark Souls.
Acid fucking
I play Dark
we
Souls.
gonna
and
leash. In other words, bring some lube.
Why are you so mean to me?
Is that how you're gonna end the stream, Dax?
Oh, I'm gonna explain this one.
I was about to say.
This one's also a
that's how you end the
temporal
stream.
anomaly. Oh, you want me to make a full cover of Fox is a Freak?
No.
Uh-huh.
Fox is a little freak.
Shut the
He
fuck
likes
up and
to-
start talking about more lore!
Oh yeah, it is canonical that that Fox does like werewolves.
Oh, speaking of sketchy, he's in another car room.
I got him.
You got him?
Yeah.
Pick up another temporal anomaly.
I hear put up, dunk.
Bitch.
Hello.
I
finished explaining a majority of the lore.
No.
Too late.
I'll be watching.
Too late. Ooh. Point and laugh at the person who got laid.
You're back.
Ooh.
Did you explain the werewolf fucker? Did you explain her?
What?
I explained her brother complex.
Oh, nice. I'll have to go back and clip that.
That's her mental illness, by the way.
Bro has kryptonite. Crazy.
What?
If you're interested in my SPP, you can read my transcription a while ago. Yeah, I'll look into it.
I have a question.
Uh-huh.
I'm looking in the SPD files, and why is there a picture of Freddy Fazbear?
We don't talk about that.
Temporal anomalies.
What?
Temporal
We
anomalies.
don't talk about
No!
We just thank Ice King for that one.
Like I said, temporal anomalies. There are weird things that happen.
Freddy fucking Fazbear. Oh, great.
Or.
No, not the song.
How would our files even look like, by the way, Dax?
That will be
Yeah.
something I will have to run through you guys, like do like interview stuff.
Ooh.
Fox, we already know a lot because, well, we were created in the same lab.
Sup?
They're like brothers, only closer.
Shut the fuck up!
Especially after that one comic.
We don't talk about that.
We don't talk about that universe. Oh yeah, there is a Dax I need to show you guys. This one's one of my favorites. Some might consider him a short.
Oh, yeah, did you talk?
Let me.
Wanna see him?
Yeah, let me.
No, pea shooter fall. Ball.
Let me.
Wee.
Me.
That's what you sound like. You
Yeah,
sound
a lot of
like-
Daxes have a smoking problem. I call it a smoking solution.
No, it's a problem. It's a
That shit is
fucking
not the
addiction. you
solution.
think.
I mean, look at him. He's clearly satisfied.
Listen, man.
Smoke away
Listen,
the
man.
problem.
This is like an addiction that you have here, man.
What are you talking about?
Calm yourself.
Perfectly normal.
What are you talking about? Add 5 more cigarettes.
500 cigarettes.
Ah, there he is. One of my favorites. Look at him.
Hey.
This universe,
Honey boy.
he doesn't get a black jaguar DNA. He gets a rusty spotted cat DNA.
Hmm.
Very small.
Small. Very small, very puny.
He's still
3
over
feet
80
tall.
years old. He's 3 feet tall, and he still manages to.
Smaller than me.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Rusty spotted.
Haha.
One of my favorites.
Haha. Smaller than haha.
I'm sorry. I guess I went back to seeing the fucking.
Stupid ass image.
Go back and. Yes.
Where did I put it? Where is it?
Ew. Smoke smell. Ew.
Don't worry. We only
Back.
smoke specific types of cigarettes.
Small.
Ugh.
Let me see if I can find more things in the box. It's showing off about that. Ah, this one's something that everyone likes. It's a universe where Daxine and Fox were made.
Oh lord.
Oh.
Damn.
However, the SPD in that universe was kind of broken. They had to require making a maid service. Very particular maid service.
Why are you laughing there?
Nothing.
You not see what's on there.
I know.
Open your
I
eyes,
know
lass.
A nice headshot of Fox. Oh, funny enough,
Of
this
the
one.
freak.
Yeah, no, this was one of the only surviving photos that she has of from the cabin.
In
Yeah.
the woods.
Yeah, well, no, like the lumberjack that took her for this photo.
Oh. He was eaten.
Nah, he just died of old age.
Eaten by the earth.
Yeah. I don't know what this one is.
Wait, what?
I don't know
What the fuck?
What
the hell is that thing?
It looks like the out of Smiling Friends.
That was so fun.
Looks like it goes.
Jeez.
Oh yeah. One of the first missions.
Ah, perfect. That's the sound she makes when she does that.
No. The rain tastes.
Do I dare show that one? No, I'm not doing that.
What one? What one? Enlighten
Huh?
me.
Oh.
This is a strange universe.
Ah, yes, the Prime Universe. Perfect.
I don't even know
Why?
who the fuck got her pregnant. Werewolves. It was werewolves, wasn't it? It was definitely werewolves.
No.
Yes, it was. It definitely was.
Alright. This is an anomaly. I don't know how this one managed to end up existing, but it just did.
I have a very cool idea. For a little something.
I like
forgot
Demon
that variant
Slayer.
exists. Yeah, we know you do.
Shut up!
There was a point in which she also ended up having to do this.
Hey, is that from the Maid universe?
Yeah, that's a maid universe.
Nice.
However,
Nice.
that was also the same universe where everyone in the SPD was even more broke, and everyone resorted to having to make it into a maid cafe. Yes, including me.
Money at? Where the hell the damn money?
Apparently, it was a lot of mismanaging, and one of the agents.
Tale as old as time.
This is a Prime universe, by the way. It's the actual like outfit.
Oh yeah,
So,
that's
yeah.
right. I recognize this one.
Yeah, this Prime universe.
Yeah.
Uh,
Hey, since Fox is a freak, and she's from the Prime universe, would it be called the Freakyverse?
No.
I'll take that as a yes.
What?
Wait, not that one, not that one, not that one!
Hey, wait! What was
Oh
it?
no.
No.
Oh no.
I gotta go back to the
I
mod.
feel like he does on
I meant-
purpose. You
No,
know?
I genuinely, I meant to click this one.
Wait,
Yeah.
I missed it.
Yeah.
Ah!
Uh-oh.
All right, yep. I'm glad I didn't. Glad I didn't see it the first time around.
Type E. Might do some-
Hey, Grouch.
Hello, Grouchy.
Mother, what the fuck?
Oh fuck no.
I
It's
finished.
the human.
It's one of the humans.
It's the human.
Grouch.
Grouch?
I finished explaining. I finished explaining the lore. Now we're just going through different images of which timeline is what.
Oh, congratulations.
Yeah.
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 I'm also gonna beat up Fox.
Yeah.
So that's the thing.
Well, might as well
Huh?
ponder the other universe. Yeah, that's one of my favorites. That's Prime, by the way. This is Prime.
Also, by the way, I just looked at that thing you reposted earlier.
Uh-huh.
Holy shit! I didn't know a fucking red shell could fly that fast.
Yeah, I know, right? Damn.
Oh my god.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Vampire Vlad Dax actually had an interaction with a different universe with the one that was created by Nug. Yeah, it was werewolf.
Also, I did not realize there was a vampire Dax. I did not realize.
Yeah,
that.
no. Here, I'll show you. I can
Yes.
somewhat explain what this one is. So this one basically was kept in isolation with Dr. Keller. However, they were both on comas for like an entire almost like half a century, until the 70s, in which they basically took her body and transferred it over to somewhere else entirely different. That universe is basically trying to find out where she's at.
I see.
However, he's extremely broke, and he's a hunter for hire. He is. And instead of getting the jacket that he would normally gotten from the German soldier, he would have gotten that from his time at the Vietnam War. He's a very interesting character.
Oh, the Viet Cong, the speaking Vietnamese in the trees.
This one in particular ends up so the way the story of this one basically goes at like a very like quick way of going shit. Same shit happens, except in this one, Dr. Keller ends up actually making it to the bunker in her containment. Basically, they couldn't really find a way to make the parasite work completely, so they basically had to like just do some weird like bloodletting shit and constantly refuel blood through one and the other. However, by the time they were about to start making it more efficient for them to be used as weapons, a blood moon happened, and basically everyone in that bunker except for them basically disappeared.
Gotcha.
And they were just basically kept like that until the 70s, which the SPD failed to get whoever took Dr. Keller. Yeah.
I see.
Yeah, no, it's that's that universe.
Oh my god, it's fucking cold here.
I got everything.
Hell yeah. I can't wait for the video.
Yeah. All right. Well, I think I did it.
Hey, go look inside Batsu real quick.
Yeah, I see it. When I do something cringe on purpose and my friend laughs instead of staring at me like I just killed their mother.
The rare time.
The rare time.
Did
All
y'all
right.
hear that? It's got delayed again.
What?
Oh yeah, GTA 6. Yeah.
Oh god.
I honestly couldn't care anymore.
Yeah, I don't care either.
Never coming out. It's the new Silk song.
It's the new Silk song.
Well, we all know how that ended.
Yeah, but see, they cook though.
All right, let's see.
No, the
can
tiny
we
studio.
raid?
Yep.
Who can't we raid? It's kind of early, so. Oh wait, I actually have an idea of who you can raid.
Hmm?
Speaking of Silk Song, you can raid Henry.
Oh, is Henry live?
Yeah.
All right.
Rarely enough. I'm surprised he's actually live right now.
Henry the Moo.
Interesting.
Henry the Boob.
Sketchy.
Oh
What's
my god! Why
What?
is he tan?
Look inside Batsu and tell me, what do you even do in this situation?
All right.
Oh my god, I hate these fucking videos. Alright, let me see.
I'm sending you guys to Henry. Be warned. Just be warned. They're
Free
chill.
range.
They're chill. They're chill. A lot of bulge. A lot of belly. A lot of
Is that the
boob.
femboy one?
I don't know what I would do in this situation. Am I the criminal? Is it actually Batman?
Yes, you're the guy on the fucking toilet.
Bro, I give up. I surrender.
Would you make the same face he made?
Oh, I guess I'll see you guys later then, chat. Tomorrow I will be playing Dark Souls with these goobers.
Yeah.
Bye, chat.
And,
Yeah, look
bye,
inside
chat.